Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Where's the slut? He rum silu. Hurry out. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. Draw steer. Will a smart wheat? Help see through. You need to listen to this, people of the world. You need to stop worrying about your viruses and your pandemics and all your other distractions. You need to wake the fuck up, okay? All you have for your ball earth belief is maths and concepts. A concept cannot be bent. Can you bend a concept? A concept is a belief that has no validation of facts or real science. And I need to reiterate this point. Science and math are two separate things. That's why they're called science and math. And to try to make math science is trying to put a fucking triangle in a square fucking hole. It won't work. You don't seem to understand. What the fuck is wrong with you? You need to wake up and you need to listen to this. Because this is the end of your ball. It's burning to fucking death.
Well, in the narcissistic world of heliocentrism, if you protest too much about something not being ascribed to you, they'll name it after you.
Yeah.
Was it Brahe? They'd have to be enormous. The lights in the sky would be absolutely gigantic. I love it.
How big do you think the sun is?
Right.
How big do I don't know. No idea. It's only got an apparent
It's
size.
definitely...
Oh, my bad. Maybe
They measured it
the
the
answer
size
needs
of the sun.
immediate interruption.
Sorry.
We can only measure an apparent size of the sun. So I don't
And
know,
how
and
big do
neither
you
do
think
you.
the appearance
And
is?
maybe just talk through it a second time. It's what we deal with, just wankers. Second time you've done that. So, we've only got an apparent size to measure. So, I don't know, and neither do you.
They did measure the size of a sun.
What, from space in your spaceship? We covered that in the pre-show, though, didn't we? Gas would fill the space. Gas not going down, go boom boom. None produced in the sky to force the steam up. Yeah, we debunked all of that crap. So no, they're not measuring it from your sky vacuum like you claimed in the pre-show.
You didn't
He hasn't
because you
learned
only said that
anything.
the steam that the steam was the only gas in when attracted, but you forgot that there's more than one gas when the steam is released.
Oh, I forgot when I asked you to describe the homogeneous layer of... Who's fucking talking through me? So when I asked you to detail the homogeneous layer of gas and which gas that would be, you detailed it, didn't you? Because I just ignored that. I haven't detailed it 6 times. Which homogeneous layer of gas would that be?
There is no homogeneous layer of gas.
So you're just talking shit, the same shit we've already debunked then?
I told you that the
Yeah, you told me that it all goes up from the ground. It's all dispersing, yeah. It's not going down, go boom boom with gravity, yeah, you told us that too. You also told us that gas was created in the sky, went down, go boom boom 9.8 meters per second to force the steam up, until I point out that none of the gases are doing that. We've covered all of this.
I never said that the gases were created in the atmosphere and then And then,
Atmosphere? Atmosphere? Atmo means air. Sphere is your fundamentalist presupposition. Another begging the question fallacy. Why would you assume that air takes the shape of a sphere? Don't beg the question.
He will cut this retard off at every single opportunity because he will use real science. You're not understanding, people, that you do not have any evidence of a ball. Pointing to mass? You're a fucking retard.
yes, it takes the shape of a sphere because...
No, it takes the shape of its container. You don't understand gas law. You're a moron. Hello? Gas does not take the shape of a sphere. Gases have no inherent shape. That's nonsense. They take the shape of the container. Whatever space they have to fill, they fill. And if the sky vacuum was a space, then gas would fill it. Your response to assert that pseudo-Riemannian bending for space, that would be gravity in its current context, is causing gas to go down, go boom boom, that's been completely demolished. 20 times!
I never said that the gas was going down like a balls. I never said that it was going like a boom boom. It's your own interpretation.
No, it's Thunderfoot's interpretation. He poured bouncy balls into a fish tank and asserted that the gas goes down. When I pointed that out to you last time, you said it sinks. So according to you, gas sinks. Yeah? Like bouncy balls poured into a fish tank, they sink through the air. Yeah? No, gas doesn't do that. It expands to fill the space. It's not sphere-shaped. You're just begging the question with atmosphere. So you need gas to be arbitrarily in the shape of a sphere. When gas has no inherent shape, it takes the shape of whatever container it's in.
And the gravity acts as a...
Why are you chanting gravity through us? Yeah, you've already said at the beginning of the live show. We've got a centre of mass, and the bigger it is, the more it'll attract the smaller mass. Oh, right, so gas with mass will attract to Earth. We get puddles of gas, do we? No, we don't. They're all produced at the ground and going up, dispersing, with an entropic effect that we've covered 25 times.
Center of mass, did he measure the radius of this geometry he's claimed there's a center to?
How'd you get the centre of mass for your assertion of gravity with a centre of mass of Earth attracting the mass of gas, which it doesn't do?
Is the center of gravity. That's why everything is...
Yeah, where'd you get it, you stupid idiot? Try to listen to the questions. Where'd you get R? Centre of the mass of Earth, that's R. Where'd you get it?
It's also gravity as a force, which he's gone back to.
Yeah, I know.
The R is the how deep the Earth is to the core.
Sorry, we don't need to know what a radius is. We're not stupid. Where'd you get Earth radius, you dumb idiot? Where'd you get your Earth R?
They measured it.
How?
How do you think they know how...
Sorry, don't ask me something. How did they measure it?
They used the seismic waves to measure how deep the sound from the earthquakes went traveled through the Earth.
So P waves and S waves?
Yes.
Oh, right. So they're accurate then?
Yes, they are.
Really? So why, when they dig the Cola deep, how do they call it? Super deep borehole, why did they get it wrong?
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They got it wrong. They
Absolutely.
predicted they'd hit rock,
They got
they
it
hit
wrong
water.
multiple
They
times
predicted they'd hit
after
sand, they hit
re-engaging.
clay. They got it wrong. The P waves and S waves said they'd hit a certain material and they were wrong. Did you not know that? You want to deny it again?
I didn't know that.
Oh, really? So yet again, the globe believer's the most ignorant person here. What a shock. Yeah, P waves and S waves didn't give you your R value. You're wrong again. So, back to the same question. You've asserted mass centre of, that's an R value. Didn't get it from P waves and S waves, that's for damn sure. So you haven't got an R value. Centre of M1 you haven't got. You haven't got R. Hello? Your crap that
Hold
you've
on.
been peddling has been annihilated. Hello?
Hold on.
I'm holding. I'm bated breath. Still holding.
Did the penny just drop on him on the P and S waves?
You
I
asked
think
me
he
how
needs
did
to
they
think
got the
about
R?
the
They
base.
measured the diameter at the equator of the Earth was 12,756 kilometers.
Oh, excellent. What's the equator? What's the equator exactly?
The equator is right between the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn. That is right in the middle of of the Earth.
How do you decide that? How do you derive that?
Because the equator is where the sun at the
Sorry, sun. Sorry, I'm very confused. Sorry, circumference. Now you're talking about the sun. That's very confusing.
was met.
Sorry, you don't seem to be listening to me. You told me that you measured the circumference of Earth and talked about an equator. I asked you what the equator was, and now you're talking about what the sun does. That's very confusing.
I'm trying to describe how did they measure it, and you
Sorry, measure
you
what?
interrupted
Sorry,
me.
measure what? This is a position on the ground, is it? Because you seem to be detailing what the sun does. Measure what? The sun?
They
But
used
not a circumference from the ground then. More over the movement of the sun. That's what the equator is. The movements of the sun averaged then. Not a position on the ground.
is where the sun is.
Yeah, I know, it's the sun that you're detailing now, and I'm saying that's confusing, given that you're telling me that you're measuring a circumference, the equator, and then when I ask what the equator is, you tell me it's something the sun does.
Equator is an imaginary line. Right?
Oh, imaginary! You're measuring the imaginary line circumference, are you? Oh, dear.
But they still measure.
Imaginary? They're just still measuring that imaginary line, are they? Sorry, are we going to get this R value from Imagination Land? Imagination Land, right? They still can measure this imaginary line.
No.
No! So failure number 2. So not P waves and S waves, and not an imaginary line either. So you haven't got R.
What he's claiming, there, what he's claiming there is Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes measured a flat diameter to Earth, which would be close to 25,000 miles in his, going by the conversion of the best they can from stages to feet and miles and whatever, would be a flat diameter of 25,000 miles. But then he supposedly decided that the sun rays were parallel and not divergent, even though we've never seen anything but divergent sun rays. And then he decided to match it to maths that he already had from Pythagoras and say it's a globe. So how can you measure a flat diameter, then state that the sun is something or doing something that it's not, and then correlate that with mathematics that you already have from a guy from years ago before you and state it's a globe? That's what happened. And it's funny that the globe out the equator line is the same distance, more or less, as the flat diameter that he would have originally measured.
It's a begging the question, healthy on steroids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Godzilla37. It says, for just $5 measly, you too can trigger ballers. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37.
Well, I'm just wondering why they don't go to the curvature calculator anymore. It's almost like that's been debunked or something.
Yeah,
How do you have a sphere without curvature now?
The curvature calculator is not accurate to what we see.
Oh, right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
It's not. The Earth is not flat.
Sorry, the curvature calculator doesn't match what we see, and what it says we see is curvature.
Right. You're claiming you can't see physical geometry. That's really nice.
So it doesn't represent how much in feet and inches the physical Earth curve edge horizon would block things. It doesn't do that. Yeah, that's what we say. Of course, globe believers say that it does show that. You seem to be somewhere in between, limbo between thinking that the curve calculator shows you how much the horizon blocks things, and then realizing that the image on screen, the black swan, shows beyond all certitude that you don't have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon. So the curve calculator definitely does assert that the horizon gets in the way of things because it's Earth curve. It's just we've debunked that.
You can prove to the retard, without a doubt, that what they're saying is retarded. And they'll say, yes, I understand that. And then they'll start talking like a retard again, saying the same thing over and over again. You're a retard.
It's all a load of nonsense without R, man. You just got to realize that.
Do you know what debunk means?
For the people that are a little slow, R means radius. Radius, you fucking stupid monkey.
Yes, it means proven wrong, or pretty much, proven wrong.
Yeah, so the curve calculator asserts that the Earth curve is represented at the horizon. We have proven that wrong with the black swan. Do you want to tell me how it doesn't represent what we see again? Because that's what it's claimed to do.
You fucking retards will even admit that your curve calculator is wrong. Now it's wrong. Right? Now it's wrong because of the black swan and people seeing way beyond what is stated for the fucking dimensions of the ball Earth. But then you know what you'll do? You'll still say it's a fucking ball!
Present what we see? It doesn't. It's a side profile view of the side of your own head, which you never get. So we already knew it didn't represent what we see, but of course that's what it's claimed to do. It was compared to photographs. For example, several years ago we had people coming and telling us that a physical geometric sphere edge that they drew tangents to in their maths blocked the bottom of the Isle of Man to a certain tune of feet and inches values. That they argued about how much or how little there should be blocked at the physical geometric sphere edge horizon claimed in that maths you say doesn't represent what we see? Yeah, welcome to flat Earth.
Again, Earth is not flat.
Now chant it. It hasn't got curvature. So, yeah, without the curvature, we're left with the obvious and observable, which is that it's flat, how it's measured. So, just chanting it, hand wave dismissal, if it was spherical, we'd have curve, and we don't.
Yeah, unless you know some kind of geometry that is not spherical, but not flat at the same time. If you have any suggestions.
So basically, he's admitting that geometric limitations prove the Earth is not a sphere, but at the same time, he's claiming it's not flat.
Well, that's the denying the measurements of flatness.
Of course.
That's all that is.
He
Denying what
typifies
measure.
anti-flat earther. So he's just told us, he's a globe believer, so he thinks, that the curve calculator, the thing that's supposed to calculate how much curve you will see at the horizon, and how many feet and inches of drop at the horizon, all of those things are what the calculator claims we see, says a globe believer. This man says, quote, the curve calculator does not represent what we see. So he's an anti-flat earther. You know, he's bracing against our rebuttal that demolishes the claim that the calculator's what we see. So therefore he's got to go against that now. Why? Well, because we say it.
Maybe the United States, maybe Canada, maybe every country that's ruled by a fucking evil pile of steaming, quivering shit should fucking censor everything because it's for your protection, your security. No, actually, it's because the people that are controlling everybody, like they're farmed fucking animals, don't want them to see that they're inside of a fucking container in a fence while they feed off of you until you fucking die. Do you think it's a coincidence that when Flat Earth came out, shortly thereafter, we had a pandemic? Oh, it's just so crazy. In retard land. Idiocracy from the idiots.
They don't want you to know the earth is flat, so they will lie about everything that they can because they are blood-sucking fucking parasites, you fucking retards! You need to wake up. You need to wake up. Don't worry about your TikTok. Don't worry about your likes on Facebook. Don't worry about how many people care about what you do on Instagram. Pull your head out your ass and wipe the shit out your ears and fucking listen. Shut your fucking pie hole and listen, you fucking retards.